Bam. Wow. I love that intro, man. It gets me going every single time. Let's go, baby. Sorry. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's go, baby. I have some deep secrets to talk about today. I'm going to tell you something that's going to break a lot of your hearts. I sold it all, baby. I sold it all. I'm going to talk about it in a second. We're going to break it down. Stay anticipated of this moment, all right? Let's get the lemon into the water like we do every single day. Let's decalcify the pineal. Let's stay hydrated. Let's keep our bodies at optimal speed, baby. Shout out to everybody. I did not work out today. I work out every single day. Today I did not. I was in the charts. And my wife said, it's 9:35. You didn't come up to work out. I said, oh, my God. And I missed my moment. Maybe I'll work out later on today. I'm not sure. It's very strange for me to miss a workout. It happened, though. But I was heavy in the charts. CPI data came out. I was trading Bitcoin, trading XRP. There was a bunch of cool stuff going on. Let's take a big sip of the lemon water. Let's get on in. I'm excited to start the day. Not as thirsty as normal because I didn't sweat out like I normally do. Feel weird not working out. It's kind of throw off my whole day. Well, I'll get through it. I will get through it. But it is a strange moment, all right? Suit and tie is sharp, man. Shout out to D Shuffle. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. I got the brown buttons, you know what I mean? With the tweed vest, baby. I mean, I got so many colors, shapes, and sizes, baby. Let's go. Best dressed man on YouTube. And Brian Rose gives me a run for my money, but some of his colors are just too much, Brian. I love you, Brian. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's take a look at Casper. And I sold all my Casper, every single bit of it. And I'm going to talk about why. Number one, the 3-day chart has a bearish div on it, a very large one, all right? The last time we weren't even able to make a bearish div that big on the run-up. That is a bearish divergence. Highly likely we break down at least to the mean or to some type of Fibonacci level. This thing will likely, I believe, come back down into the 3-cent region, somewhere in this region after that beautiful price discovery pump to the upside. It did a beautiful move, but it's got bearish div. You know what I mean? Then I went to the daily time frame, and the daily itself has bearish div. The last time I saw anything like this was Bitcoin, all right? And looks like it's going to make another move to the upside on that 1-hour time frame. Look at that low stochastic. Just a little quick. I just gave you a free because it happened to be there. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Shout out to 3 Much Crypto for the $9.99. God bless you. 3C orders set, baby. Shout out to GF Burke, my man. Best TA in the game. Yeah, so I sold all my Casper, every single bit of it. Like, it's so weird. You know what I mean? Like, if I go to my, and MEXC is where I sold, all right? MEXC is the place to be. Please, people, don't pay fees if you don't have to. Stop going to these exchanges and giving them all your money. Take your money, get your fees. You know what I mean? So, it's time, and you got to learn how to sell, everyone. I made a boatload of money off of Casper. I really did. It was a beautiful, beautiful trade. I will pay some taxes on it. I will use that money to buy back into Casper. It is what it is. But I made gains, okay? Today, I made huge gains. Today, I can sit here and be like, I made the gains. If something ever happens with Casper, if they get rug pulled, if something goes on, I have the money in my hand today. You gotta learn to pay yourself. See, I trade for a living. I can't afford not to pay myself. When you have a job and you get into crypto and you run the rally up and then you don't sell the top, right? Boom. You know what I mean? But when you become a full-time trader like me, you have to sell. That's how you pay the bills. That's how your kids go to school. That's how you dress yourself. You know what I mean? So you gotta sell, baby. Shout out to MEXC, zero spot maker and taker fees. This is the place. All right? This is the place. And I just pinned both links to the Discord and the link to the MEXC. You got to register at MEXC today. If you're not doing it, you're playing yourself. I'm telling you. I'm a good guy trying to tell you the good things. I don't want to tell you I'm a good guy. You got to figure that out on your own. But I'm here every single day doing the right thing, putting my mind out there. I gave you guys Reap Chain recently in the trading group. Here's a call that I gave you. Let me show you exactly how I gave it and why I gave it. What was I talking about? What did it look like to me? All right. Here's the call. It was 9:06 p.m. at night. I was working hard. All right. I've been grinding all day. It was the 7th of August. It was 3 days ago. I saw Reap Chain consolidating into a tight price action, tight moving averages above the point of control. All right. And here's our before, all right? And here's our after. And I like to shrink these down and make them like the exact size. So there's a before. If I put my finger like right here and then I drag reap to the same place, like right there. Look, there you go. So there's your before and there is your after to the upside for 46% gains. And now it's in a flag, right? I'm just saying I show you how to do this every single day on the channel. Tight moving averages. MACD showing lack of bearish momentum. Falling volume with falling price on the levels of the volume. Understanding price action and volume. And low stochastics was there and there for two beautiful entries. And you were touching the 200 SMA. You were on the 200 SMA above POC and a high volume node there. High likelihood. And the channeling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You were getting tighter and tighter inside of the zone. Reap chain told me through technical analysis, it spoke to me. That's a language. That's literally a language. Just like sign language, just like talking, Reap chain spoke to me. It said, hey, that's ready to go. And so I gave it to the crew because I can go over the charts and find things that are highly likely going to play out. All right? Reap chain to the upside. Shout out to anyone that took Reap for gains. AKT continuing to rip the Akash network. Nobody had Akash. Nobody, man. We were all over it here on KuCoin. This thing continued to rip to the upside, up 78%. Still holding gains of 59 and consolidating here on the smaller time frames, making a bit of a flag. Maybe there's some more for Akash network. Right now, it doesn't look like it is, but let's see it consolidate a little bit. But again, I labeled the buy zone. This was spoon-fed, all right? Again, what was happening? The moving averages were tight. High volume node. Lack of bearish momentum on the MACD. Low stochastics. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Tighter inside the zone. Are you seeing a pattern in the way I trade? Are you starting to see what's going on, baby? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's go. Let's stay motivated. I love my life. I woke up today ready to go. And now you're getting the energy I would have put into that freaking workout. So you guys are getting the extra same price, baby. Shout out to each and every one of you. I love you all. Let's break down Bitcoin right away. Let's talk about it. So we woke up this morning. I saw this insanely jagged channel that looked ridiculous. To me, it was a retest. It came down and retested, tried to break out. The good thing is we didn't want to break back inside this pattern. We said we do not want to break back inside this pattern. This was a big deal, all right? And we bounced. We did not break back inside the pattern. We stayed outside of it. I drew this consolidative shape here that looks like it will be an ascending triangle, some type of bull pennant, maybe even a symmetrical, okay? And so you want to see the tightness. Let's get some free money. Just did 100 push-ups, man. Hey, money. I love that. Tommy Coin doing 100 push-ups on the live. Yeah, I struggle with the idea of holding being greedy, when in reality, paying yourself is truly the greedy action. Isn't that it? Yeah, get that money, you know? So I saw a move today on the 15-minute was oversold, all right? Or the 15-minute was a little high, but the 1 hour was oversold, the 4 hour were oversold. I suggested that the 1 hour was going to get a bounce, and my indicator even pushed this bullish divergence, which I can't see. My indications don't have it, but it means this is sharply up and this is flatter. It's almost a hidden bullish in a way. It's like a Class C hidden bullish. I get what they were saying now. Moving averages were tight, and I suggested a move to the upside. We were sitting at about 29,480, 29,005. We shot all the way up to 29,005, all the way to 29,737. Shout out to anyone that took the call. That was just a scalp trade. I was saying likely to get a move. You'd be in the money right now still had you taken the call half through profits already, though, if you did get out at the 29.7 level. But that alone could have paid you for the day. I'm just breaking down these ideas and these concepts. Pay yourself and put a bit of a gains into long-term bags. Amen. Shout out to the Banter crew falling through, man. Shout out to Stack McChain. Shout out to Banter. Shout out to them having me on their show yesterday. That was insane. Like I got this DM out of nowhere. Next thing you know, I'm chilling with Sheldon the Sniper and the whole crew. I met them in Miami. Great people. Really great people. You know, Sheldon recently did lose his father. And when I saw him, I went right up to him and I was like, man, I lost my dad, man. I know how you feel. And he gave me like a long hug, bro. I met his younger brother. Felt like a family, man. The Banter. And they came all the way from South Africa to Miami. They don't travel a lot, so you don't get to see them a lot. I mean, that was a big deal. We had the entire YouTube crew together. Garrick all the way through a beautiful party. Tom Crown, you know, Gareth was there. I was there. Freaking Loudmouth was there, man. Everybody was there. Even Crypto Face was there. It was insane. Tom Crown, man, what a great guy. Got to meet the whole crew. Got to really become part of the family. Altcoin Daily was there. I mean, you name it. The 10 biggest YouTube channels were all there. And then me. I'm not saying I'm one of the biggest YouTube channels, but I'm one of the biggest personalities in crypto, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I'm not a stick in the mud, I'll tell you that. All right. I like Moon. My old pal had some caffeine. And Tino Alpha this morning, my man. Shout out to my man. It's funny. Me and Tino's style are too different. So like if I were to watch him, I would have to recreate everything I do. And I'm too deep into what I do. But I just love his energy and I love his vibe. You know what I mean? And people do like him. I am Jack. Shout out to Justin Musgrave. We love you, brother. Love the price report last night with Miss Teen Crypto. Thank you, Irish Aries, Matt Stevens. Appreciate you, man. Hypothetically, you got laid off but received $25,000 in severance. What would you do in that position? Start a business? Invest? Shout out to the $4.99 for doing what you do. Thank you, United States, my man. God bless you for jumping on into the live. All right. So if you're in the trading group, we already called us somewhat of a long here to bounce to the top side. 453 people on the live, 151 likes. Maybe we get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's go. We have so much to cover and so much to talk about. Great to see you on Tino's show, Sebby. See you everywhere, brother. Thank you, Scotty Swing. I see you everywhere, man. You're the best YouTuber, and never say you are not again. You're the best YouTuber, and never say you are not again. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Jay Baker. 017 ATP today, Sammy. Cup and Handy. No, I'm on Mondays now. I used to be on Thursdays. I've switched to Mondays. I will be on every Monday. Love the positive energy. What we focus on, we empower and we enlarge. Amen. Yeah. When you read Lifers Testimonies, you'll know you're in the right place. Amen. Balls in the cup, baby. Thank you. Sending in your super chat for a deep dive or TA on the alt. So 15 minute is overbought. All right. You're overbought. Look at that. And you got a bearish divergence in the 15 right there. Tells you you're getting somewhat of a pullback. You couldn't get above a resistance right here. Previous support becomes resistance. We know this. Look at local. Bounce, bounce. Came to it. Bit of a double top. Having some trouble. Not able to get through the zone. All right. Do we expand this like this? And is it just like a giant wedge? Or do I stick to this idea that we're in this like weirdo little wedge here? It's tough. Price action is messy today. I'm really going on a limb here, right? I feel like we did make a nice little breakout of this channel here. And I backtested this, and I've done this before, and it does play out over time, right? So here's the deal. Not too far for the 21-day moving average, which is good. In between tightness, we're getting rejected by the what? The 200 SMA. Isn't that interesting? We got well above it. See the trade? Once you got above it, that was the trade there. Boom. Once the 21 and the 200 got far apart, that's when you exit the trade. Same concept. So now we need to, get through again. Got a bit of an Adam and Eve double bottom here, which could play out to the upside as well. And so right now I'm waiting on a flag. I'm just waiting on a flag. So, right, you know that song? I'm just waiting on. Anyway, sorry. But I'm just waiting on. So anyway, 15 minute inside of a flag here. We'll flag it out. Maybe we can get a mini cup and handle here that can break us to the upside. What we don't want to see is we don't want to breach this trend, and we don't want to break back inside the bigger pattern. So what will happen is the 15-minute starts to kind of slump. If we break here, bearish retest. If we break back in here, we're coming down to the bottom of the pattern. I don't see that as the most likely scenario because we broke through this heavy resistance here, but anything is possible. So let's watch the 15-minute. If in the next hour, hour and a half to 2 hours, we are able to stay inside this flag sideways, there's more likely chance that 1 hour and that 4 hour can flip us to the upside. Can you take a look at CGPT? AI has some buzz. I will look at that. It got slammed to the downside. You seen that? Probably a good time to buy a little bit more, honestly, in my humble opinion. Let's take a look at what's happening here. I'll take a look at it immediately, though, right after this BOOKMAP segment. Shout out to my man, After Hours Investing. We still got to do our Zoom, man. That's how busy my life is, bro. See? I almost had you. And then I just it's like meeting after meeting, place after place, travel. I travel tomorrow, another travel day. I got to pack tonight. I'm going away for 2 weeks to see my mom. And honestly, when I go away, everyone, I work. I just want to make it clear. I may visit a new place. I may have a nice dinner. I may hit a beach for a few hours. But for the most part, I wake up every single day with my Bitcoin update. I go to bed every single night to my Bitcoin update. And I run through the charts all throughout the day. I got an iPad with me if we do go somewhere. And then I have my phone, which connects me to the internet, right? Through the phone link. And boom. Someone needs a Twitter authentication. Who's trying to get in my Twitter? Did anyone on my team try to get into Twitter? Wow. Anyway, Sean, are you trying to get into my Twitter, man? Burke, are you trying to get into the Twitter? Was it Jamie? Who was it? Because I want to make sure I'm not getting hacked. So just DM me and I'll give you the number. Was it you, Jamie? Us, yes. All right, I'll send Jamie the code. Yeah, tell me that stuff so I don't freak out. Think I'm getting SIM swapped. You know what I mean? Boom. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. I like when the team's moving, man. You guys are grinding. I like it. You guys are linking something. All right. BOOKMAP shows liquidity to the downside, 29.7, 29.2. Nothing either side. Remember the last time we had liquidity to the upside? What did we do? We went right to that area we called the short squeeze. We do have this 30,800 level that's still kind of lingering, but it tells us that we are likely to go lower than higher based on the liquidity. This isn't 100%. It doesn't mean that we're definitely going to go lower just because there's liquidity down here. But when I see liquidity that close in between price action, it tells me to heed it and to be careful. And there's likely I'm going to get long squeeze in there. So I'd be careful taking a long now, just looking at BOOKMAP. We'll watch that 15-minute. And now you can see my strategy. My strategy says to wait now and not make a trade. It's just to wait for the 15-minute to fill out. It says do not take a trade for the next 2 hours. That's what my strategy says. And BOOKMAP suggests that we go lower. Let's take a look at what happens if we do go lower. Here's 29,361. We would actually have to break back inside the pattern. It would be pretty bearish if we were to fill these orders at 29,000. You can see right here in the VRVP, though, we do have 2 high volume nodes sticking out, and that's another level of contention. So we have to now keep in mind that we could be going down to 29,000 to 29,200 because there's some orders down here that would like to be filled. Hello, sweet pie. What is that? Want to give me an orange? Thank you. You're so cute. I love your new haircut. Did you like being at the barbershop? Okay. I love you. All right, so I say I move down to 29,000 here. Sorry. When my little baby hands me food, I have to eat it. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're seeing liquidity down to 29,000. All right. And look at that. I'm streaming. I'm still giving my team a code, man. I'm doing them. Your girls are always sweet, man. Thank you so much. Seize the day. God bless you, brother. D Shovel, Cryptoholic Love, and everybody in here. God bless you all. Jasso84, you became a channel member below. Amen. How much does it cost to be a channel member? I believe $4.99 a month or $5 a month, something like that. All right, so we got our move for Bitcoin. If you move your stop loss up to break even or into profit, you would have made the quick gain. We did come up to resistance. Might be a top place to take some profit right there at resistance. So you get in at support, sell at resistance on a mini move. I do see an Adam and Eve double bottom there. Could somewhat play out. Kind of a cup with a handle there too. But only time will tell. Let's see what happens with this 15-minute time frame. All right. I guess you could short right now because that way you're covered in case we get a massive dump down to that liquidity zone. Right? I wouldn't. I would watch the flag and see how the flag plays out. If we lose this level and we bearish retest, I would short. Okay? If you lose this point of control here, and we're going to head down to this high volume node at 29,196, and then this is where the liquidity lies at 29,000 to 29,000. So we do see bigger liquidity down here. All right? It doesn't mean we're guaranteed to go down. I've seen this happen, and then we've ripped up to the upside. I just say most of the time we go down. This is BOOKMAP. Heat map order book. Please link in the descriptions below if you want to get, you can put Doge on this. You can put Chainlink on this, right? You can put a bunch of different assets out here so you can see what's happening in the markets, all right? And that's a perpetual. There's a Doge chart too as well, all right? Crypto Plumber gifted 5 memberships You guys are such blessed, nice people. I don't know why. I have such beautiful people in my life, man. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Today's a blessed day. I sold all my Casper for massive gains. All right. Just today was a huge day. Like, I don't know if I should brag, but I'm in total with all my businesses, everything I did today, before 12 o'clock, I made over like probably $14,000 today. It's insane. I know. Freaking nuts. But that's the life, man, when you grind your butt off. And honestly, I won't spend a penny of it. I'll just keep grinding. Like tomorrow, I'll grind. I'll grind the next day. But bang, man, today was a great day. God bless. You know what I mean? Stay blessed. Shout out to each and every one of you. I would never be here. FUD Expert in the YouTube chat is our new TikTok intern. FUD Expert, I love you, brother. I've been seeing you around. You've been in the chat for a long time. God bless you. Goals, baby, goals. Amen. But I also don't take a day off. You know what I mean? So when you don't take a day off, this is what happens. Every single action that you work compounds. It's just like compounding interest. You know, think about compounding interest. Think about compounding energy. 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week. But this guy takes off Saturday and Sunday. But I grind those 2 days. I put out the Bitcoin updates. I do my live stream at night. I might even do a one-on-one. I even teach class on Saturdays, right? Sundays, I'm putting out updates. I might even find a gain. We've made pumps before on Sundays. It's rare, but it happens. I do my morning update, right? I live stream 2 times. I bust my butt. Monday comes around. It doesn't stop. And so every single month that these people take off these 2 days, I compound. More people find me online. More people see what I'm talking about. More people learn the strategy. More people get taught. More. And that compounds over time. I'm telling you right now. So 90% of people in America work 5 days a week. But the 1% work 7 days a week. And that extra 2 days every week is the edge. You just keep gaining an edge every single time. You know what I mean? And so forget me and my money. Forget what I've done. But I sold all my Caspa. I did it. I can't believe it. Like, I think it's insane. You know? I know it's a great project. I believe it's going to do numbers over time. But look, 0. Look at that. There's no Caspa left. You saw I had $16,000 in Caspa just the other day. 0 Caspa. But look, I got $17,908 sitting in my bank account right there, ready to deploy. All right? So I got capital now, ready to rock. All right? Now, most of it will get back into Caspa at the right time. I have to buy back what I sold of my Caspa on my order history. All right? I sold trade history. It'll give me all the or order history, I guess. Yeah, I had to make a bunch of different orders, but I sold around 300,000 Caspa. You know what I mean? So it didn't fill all the way here. I tried to sell the 300,000. It only filled 145,000. And then I put the order in again and I sold 169,000. So 314,000 Caspas. I'll add these two together. I have to buy back more than I had. About 400,000 Caspa is the idea. All right. So, but you got to sell. And I'm going to talk about why I sold Casper. Everyone's like, I thought you loved Casper. I thought you were all about Casper. I am. That's why I sold it. And you're like, wait, I'm confused. Well, we talked about it already on the stream, right? Bearish divergence on Caspa. Bearish divergence on the daily too. The daily had bearish div, and so did the daily had it on bigger and smaller, you know, and I've seen this. Oh yeah, I forgot. I got sidetracked. You go to BTC USD. I've seen this exact story before, all right? So remember, that's like a huge divergence on the 3-day, and that's a divergence on the daily right there. Where have I seen this before? Where have I seen this story before? I've seen this story for Bitcoin, all right? On the weekly chart, and we'll break this down. The weekly had swing up to swing up with a swing down to swing down right here. You see that? And that told me that was heavy bearish div. And then when I went to the daily itself also had bearish div. So I've seen this same story before. I've seen this, right? And so this is what Casp was doing. And I've learned my lessons. I've been in the charts long enough. And if it keeps going, so be it. I have money for another new coin maybe that nobody knows about. Like maybe that's God's will is that I find another new coin and I made my gain. So, but it is what it is, baby. You know, I've seen this scenario before. So I'm taking what I've learned in the past, transcending it back into the future. And now I'm here in the present making decisions. You get what I mean? So yeah, Liver's going to dump too many PEIs. What is PEI? I know the live chat is also as good as the show. It's hard to drag myself away from the chat. Well, because we have so many beautiful people in the chat that I bring together, right? Because it's the energy, it's the vibes, baby. It's all about vibrational energy. I'm telling you, it's about your frequency and your vibrational energy, all right? It is what it is, okay? And Bitcoin getting that move to the downside now, and it's heading into the liquidity. Look, it's headed down into the liquidity, and you're getting the stops and the long squeezes. What did we say when I started the stream? I said I wouldn't squeeze myself in between this liquidity zone. Just like the other day. Now these people that longed are getting hit off. How come they can't figure out not to long the chart right now? How come they can't use BOOKMAP like we do and see what's happening? Why is it so hard for them to understand these concepts? I aim to teach people every single day not to get wrecked, and I do it in a simple way. I see other technical analysts, and they're really good, but I think they're really complex. And they're like, and I look complex at one point. I have a bunch of different oscillators. But if you stick with me and you really watch me every day, you're going to start seeing the simplicity to what I do over and over and over again. And things are going to make sense. What a run we went on, right? May, June, July to August, a 3-month run, you know? And now it's coming together. Shout out to TXA for the nice little pump to the upside. This thing boomed. I had an alert on it there. This thing just did a massive pump. I see this pumping all the way to the 200 SMA. You see this? This is my old 200 SMA trick. Okay? When the moving averages get bunched up and the 200 SMA is the outlier, you're likely to pump up to it. It's very likely. I teach this to my students all the time. I teach this to anyone who will listen. All right? If you will listen to me, I will teach you how to trade cryptocurrency. All right? So, beautiful day to be alive. You got to learn to take profits. I feel relieved right now, too. Wow, look at that massive liquidation there on the 15-minute. So it was a give it up and give it right back down. So now, look, and that's why we watch the flag. So now, and remember I said you could open up a short right now. Technically, would be the smartest thing to do. And then speak of the, I had to say it, right? We could rewind it. I just said it like 10 minutes ago, but whatever. It was just the most probable thing, right? Because BOOKMAP had liquidity to the downside. Anyway, we're still oversold before, and we're headed back inside. Now, if we head back inside this and we don't lose this channel, we're just back inside the pattern again, and nothing has really changed. All right? I know this is complicated. Today, price action's complicated. It's like, it's a mess. Like, I had to actually do something that I've backtested for years that no one's ever really done by extrapolating these push-outs and then still forming an edge here. So we broke back inside. You know, and it's just consolidation. I wouldn't be surprised if we still bounce back to the top of this channel. What I don't want to see is I don't want us breaking back inside here. I don't want to see 29,300 breached. It's also a weekly support or resistance that was holding really nicely for a long time. So I really wouldn't like to see this line break or this line break. If that happens, it's kind of likely we come all the way back down to 28,500 and we restart this kind of track, this whole same story all over again. So right now they're liquidating the longs. Usually they liquidate the longs when they're packing their bags. Liquidations is when a whale is buying in and he's using your liquidations to get in. He's taking your longs to add to his longs, right? So he has to get you to sell your bags to him. So he fills up. Why are they filling up? Why would you fill a bag? Usually because you're going somewhere, right? You're traveling. So if he's filling a bag here, what is he doing? What is he filling a bag for? Well, usually for a move back to the upside. Agreed? So that's kind of, you know, the thought process here. Massive sell-off, though, for BTC. Was it CPI data falling off? Like, is it the S&P? Is it the dollar index getting a bit of a pump? Let's take a look at the DXY and break it down. Sorry about this music. I didn't even realize I was so into the charts, but it's not the music that I've been keying in on recently. All right, so the daily's overbought, and we have our alert going off here on the DXY. We can move it again, and I'm sticking to the idea that we're going to dump to the downside here for the dollar index. All right, I'm just sticking to it. We're overbought. It wants to take a dump to the downside. We got an indecision doji out of nowhere on the 4-hour. We bounced off what? The 200 SMA. See that? We came right to the 200 SMA. I'm telling you right now, if you use the 200 SMA, you're going to find so many bots are programmed around it and so many people are using it. It's like it kind of runs the market on the back end. So I figured this out through algorithmic, just my brain picked it up. and I started using these concepts. That bounce is interesting. Let's get rid of these yellow lines here so I can read my Stokes properly. Let's give my Stokes a little more room. So the Stokes are trying to bounce here on the 4-hour time frame for a bullish move. Same thing here on the 1 hour. So the dollar said, hey, I'm not going to dump anymore. I'm going to find some support. So for whatever reason, I feel like we fell out of this triangle. And I'm looking for the bearish retest now. And now, look, we're bearishly retesting the 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame, which is interesting. We don't want to flip that 200 SMA. We'd like to use that as a resistance and drop to the downside. Or just have a quick little move up and bearishly retest to the downside. We'll be looking for this bearish retest on the 1 hour time frame. That'll confirm the free fall for the dollar further down and help Bitcoin get its move next week to the upside. So I still see bearishness for the dollar. We just got to work through these smaller time frames. But look, I mean, that's a shoulder, kind of a head and a right shoulder. We fell out, bearishly retest this symmetrical triangle that we fell off from. And the daily's pointing to the downside. So let's see if the 1 hour can give us that bearish retest, defy the 4 hour, and the daily can pick up with that dump to the downside. Let's look at total 3, the entire market cap of all of the altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. We go over this a lot. We talk about it every couple of days. Let's break it down. I do see it in a giant inverted head and shoulder. You see that? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I see it in a falling wedge. I see the daily pushing to the upside. I see that we had resistance. I see that we bounced. Previous resistance becomes new support. That's a big deal. I like what I'm seeing here. I see tight moving averages. If we can flip this 200 SMA on the daily, all will be well. All right? Altcoins looking for signs of strength here. We get above that medium line on the RSI. Another move can come. I see a move for the altcoins. This says that the altcoins are going to get some type of rally here. It would be awesome if we can hold this trend too and not lose it. And we form some type of like this symmetrical triangle here and we start getting up and down inside the zone. So weird. So I'm looking for a move out of this total 3 to the upside. That's what I'm watching for. That's what I want to see. All right. That's a good sign for the altcoin. Shout out to the 601 people on the live, 227 likes. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on in to the Crypto Lifer Show. My name is Samuel James Price. I've been trading for 15 years. If I can help you along your trading journey, please let me in. Please let me show you something. Please give me just a little bit of your time. I won't waste it. I promise you. I got a trading group. I go live every single day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. I even do live updates on the weekends in the morning because I want you to understand what you would get if you were in the trading group the other 5 days. It's basically an advertisement for the updates. So we're looking for a move out of this to the upside. That's a bit of a cup and handle and an inverted head and shoulder on the altcoins. I like what the altcoins are doing here. Now I'll change my tune if the altcoins go below $330 billion. But right now we're holding 340. And we could get a measured move all the way to 417, at least up to the top of this channel here at 375 for the altcoins. Bitcoin slightly recovering. Did we get a divergence? Let's take a look if we got some type of divergence here on a smaller time frame, 7-minute, 5-minute. Flattening out a little bit there, but nothing crazy. I mean, it definitely was a liquidation, so we know there has to be a divergence at one point somewhere. So it's here on the 1. Here's the divergence here. See how sharply down that is? And see how flat that is? They both point down. I call these Class C bullish divergences. They both point to the downside. That one's far more vertical. It will eventually play out as a divergence. Look at that. Had I just went to the 1 minute, shoulder, head, and a right shoulder. So had I went to the smaller time frame, there was the easy short right there. The head and shoulder pattern. See, that's all you had to know. I'm telling you right now, and today I messed up. I didn't get to the 1 minute in time, right? It happens. It happens. Boom, there you go. I did feel a short brewing, and but boom, I mean, that's how you would have played that easily. Like, right with the head and shoulder, and you enter on the right shoulder or the neckline, and then you take the measured move to the downside. I mean, technical analysis is just so insane. It's like, if you didn't see it, it doesn't mean it didn't play out. It means you didn't see it. That's how I eventually figured it out. Like, I realized it's always there. I realized that the fabric of the math that creates the existence that we live in can never be erased or removed. So price action has to move through the same math that me and you move through. So price action can't do whatever it wants whenever it wants. It has to format a structure of mathematical relevance for it to continue to move. Do you understand this? Like, it has to move through a mathematical Fibonacci sequence to even make another. Like right now, its next move has to be Fibonacci, right? And if you look really small here, really small, we go to the 30-second, there's an inverted head and shoulder right there. This should break back to the upside. So how funny, if this ends up playing out, there's an inverted head and shoulder. We got a 68% chance that we're going to bust up right now back to 29,530. We can go to 29,530. The math is in my favor that we could do it. Now, some could say, okay, but we're still in a bear flag, and this bear flag could continue to the downside. I'm with that. We got a 30% chance that we go down. We have a 70% chance we go up. So you take the call to the upside, right? It's like you just keep playing the probabilities to in your favor. But wow, there's a head and shoulder right there that was so textbook. And anyone that tells me TA don't work, I mean, right there told you to short the market. Right there told you to short the market. Now it's telling you to long this small little time frame to the upside back to 29,530. That's what it's telling us to do. That's not what I'm telling myself to do. Okay. And when I'm on. And sometimes this live stream is just electric. I can't explain it, but my mind's moving at 1,000 miles a minute. I'm computing all the math. I'm looking at it. I'm finding the shapes. I'm feeling it. The charts are moving. They go there's something about technical analysis and being in tune with the world, being in tune with that Fibonacci, being on with the math. There's something about it. That's why I love what I do every day. That's why I love this show. That's why I love coming back. It's different every single day. You never know what you have to challenge your brain to see. And it moves at the speed of light. And you got to be able to nail it. And look, there it is to the upside, right? Did I not just show you this? So I aim to teach you that the charts will help you make money. But you got to listen to the charts. You can't listen to your emotions. Your emotions are going to tell you over and over again what's going to happen and what you should be doing and what you should be feeling and all this nonsense. Again, whenever we long when? Or what do we get out of a long? When the 21 and the 200 are far apart. So that tells me we should maybe enter a long back to the upside when the 21 are far apart from the 200 SMA. Because we would get out of a long in this way, so that means we should enter a short. I mean, again, I'm going to throw a lot of concepts at you over and over again. I did just bring the chart upside down, and I do move at the speed of light, and I talk fast. I get it. But my energy is at its apogee, and it's hard for me to keep it down. So I'll bring your energy up. I'm going to raise you up. You hang out with me every single day, you're going to be a better person. You're going to feel good about your life. You're going to drink lemon water. You're going to work out. You're going to be an awesome father. You're going to be an awesome mother. If you have kids, you're going to be a good parent. Like, we're going to preach and teach the good life here every single day. The energy, the vibrance. First thing out of my mouth this morning, dear Lord, thank you for my use of my legs. May I walk to the bathroom. And again, I'm not perfect. I don't mean to be. I'm not trying to preach and say I am. I'm just spreading positivity right now because there's someone else right now spreading negativity in the world. And I'm combating that negativity. Every single person that spreads positivity and light, you're combating the negative. You're combating that negative, nasty energy. And that may be all this inverted head and shoulder gave. That may be a little neckline move there. We could even maybe slightly adjust the neckline a little down. You just take this small little move and you say, well, I mean, that's kind of what you got. It was supposed to break out. Trying to retest now, but you did look. Now, can you SR flip this resistance? Can Bitcoin stay above 29,471? If it doesn't, then it's likely to go more down. If it can SR flip this, then it can, And a lot of times, head and shoulders revisit the neckline. I don't know why, but they do. All right. I don't know how we got onto a inverted head and shoulder on the 30-second chart, but we did. Bitcoin takes us to many different places. All right. We're attempting to find the bottom here for the day through liquidations. All right. And now the liquidations have we got there's the event right there. That may be the low for the day. Also, less volume on a Thursday. May not be as many people to liquidate as normal. So it's also the summer months. So we'll go from there. Thursday, August 10th, man. August is drifting away. I cannot believe 20 days to September. 20 days till September. I'm just, wow. And then my daughter will be back in school again. And I'm a little kid, and I loved being out of school. So like I get this, like I vicariously live through the idea when my daughter's not in school, and I'm always like, yeah, she's not in school. And then when she's in school, I'm like, oh, she's back in school. But you know, she missed school. Like she was like, I miss going to school. I never missed school. Like I never wanted to be in a building when I could be outside. Like I loved being outside. You know, I wanted to be just out all the time. I was like, why am I in the building right now? Like that always threw me off, you know. Shout out to the 640 beautiful people on the live, 264 likes. Thank you for jumping on in. And why am I on such a small time frame? We're attempting to find out where we're going to bottom here for the day. That is a divergence. All right, I know it's not easy to see, but it is a divergence. If this line would keep going and this line would keep going, they would divide each other. That's simple. I tell every one of my students that because divergences are harder to find. And then I started back testing them and tweaking them. Because I was told, just like everyone else, this is divergence. And then I was like, well, are there other ways? And my mind started expanding. Are there new, other interesting ways to do it? Can I find something different? You know, and because that's how my mind works. It tries to bend and twist reality to find if there's something someone else hasn't seen before. So I'm always like, there's some. I truly believe that my perspective is so unique that I can see something no one else has ever seen in the history of the universe. You know what I mean? And that gift I've used my whole life to find something new and interesting, right? Or to do something in a different way, even though everyone's already done it that way, to do it a little differently. And that's why I love Jimi Hendrix, right? He played the guitar upside down. Like Rodney Mullen, he was the first guy to flip the board. He did things with the skateboard that no one ever did before. You know what I mean? The guy was unbelievable. So I love anyone, and I used to say this on the channel a lot. My channel's changed. I remember I used to say this more on the channel, but I love anyone that does anything uniquely in their own style to the point of no return, right? And that's, they call me Sammy Cup and Handy. I took technical analysis to another place where I have my own name stamped on it. You know what I mean? Just insane. Anyway, and it's all because of you beautiful people. I owe it all to each and every one of you. I really do. I owe my whole life. I owe everything. You know, getting on Crypto Banter, being on BitBoy, I owe it all to each and every one of you. It's because you guys showed up when I had 3 people watching me. It's because you guys told someone, hey, this TA is good. It's because, hey, people made gains too. I made a lot of people learned the education and they made gains. The setups played out, right? The TA said this was going to happen and it did, all right? Look, we just told you we were going to 29,530 likely, and looks like we're about to breach 29,005 now, all right? And we had to break it down to tiny, small time frames to figure out what was going on. We found that inverted head and shoulder on a 30-second chart. That's ridiculous, right? We found this insanely, weirdly back-tested divergence that took me years to understand and even know. Most people would never even see this, or even you'd have to play with this for years to figure it out. All right. So unique. Today is unique alone in and of itself, right? We had to go to the 1 minute and the 30-second chart to see the shoulder, head, and the shoulder. This was an M pattern here too, in a way. Kind of a, and also funny. Look at that. That was a descending triangle. Descending triangles break to the downside. Just funny how the bearishness compiles and creates the confluence. Confluence is combined influence. How much of one thing do you see? How much bearishness do you see? How much bullishness do you see? And you know, how many layers of influence can you combine on one thing? And that's the idea. All right. OXD, this thing tends to pump a little bit when the market starts to move again. I always think of Dave Portnoy. I don't know why. I feel like he pumps this little coin, Orchid. But again, my same concepts here. Smart, you know, I should call them life money. I don't know. They got smart money concepts. I got to come up with my own little name. But look, tight moving averages. As they get tight, you're going to pump where? To the 200 SMA. Boom. I teach this to my students. You'll learn this idea, and you'll understand you'll start understanding when moving averages are pulling apart and getting tight, and it's going to start helping you enter and exit trades. Now, it's a latent indicator. You use it as a landscape tool. When I see a landscape tool, I mean you look at it in a broad sense to see what the market's doing, and it gives you a sense like, oh, what I mean by a landscape tool is, look, I can pull this out, and I want to look at the whole chart, right? When it was pumping, does everyone know what I mean when I say landscape? I mean, like, you don't wait for something to happen and you buy in, like a signal. You just look, like right now, I would look, like, say it was pumping. Say it was pumping here back then, you know, like none of this had happened yet and it was pumping. Well, I would start seeing that the 21 is getting, you know, really far away from price action. Once we were right here, and see how price had to come back and meet the 21. This is if you can understand how price action and the 21 interact and use them to your advantage, I'm telling you right now, you're going to become a great trader. I'm going to help you with these concepts over and over and over again. You're not going to be buying in when you see price action really far away from a 21-day moving average. You're going to be buying in when you see price action close to a 21. You're going to backtest this on every single thing you've ever seen. You're going to see that it works out over and over and over again. Findora, I drew this, but it looked more like a descending triangle, so I didn't post it. It still made gains. It's funny, like things that I don't even post make gains. 34% gains. I was looking at it last night, and all I did was tight moving averages with the point of control. I saw tight moving averages with the POC and the low stochastic. Boom, and you bounce right off of that. Money print to go brrr, right? So, what's interesting too, look, it looks like it was riding a fib. If you pull the Fibonacci here, look, it was riding. It had wicked to the 786 right there, and then it rode, and then it was in the golden pocket too as well. I just didn't like the flatness of this bottom. It had more of a descending vibe than, so I didn't, can't stand when I see something I don't post and it ends up playing out over time. So, XDC on my radar, right? While I will, XDC, sorry. It's been getting more buzz than a lot of other coins. This 8-hour looks like it's about to go. What I don't like is the moving average is a little far apart. So I'll pull a Fibonacci on this. Now, the key to my trading style is, when do I pull the trigger? If the 8-hour looks good, but it's far apart, how do you know when to pull the trigger, right? Like, do you pull this trigger or do you wait? Now, I like these type moving averages. I see that we retrace back to, what, a 0.5 fib? You could almost say that was your impulse and you're already at a 786 in a way. I could even take this as the impulse and we're at a golden pocket. I'll take the whole move, though. Honestly, I like the 8-hour on this. It looks very bullish to me. Let's look at my bigger time frames, my daily. See, your daily's oversold. Not too bad. Your 2-day's a little overbought, but it says you could still get a move. Your 22-hour wants to move. The moving averages are just getting a little further apart than I like. But the 4-hour had the breakout to the upside. 8 hours ago was the entry at about 0.6 and 0.66 and 0.6, 6 cents, yeah. And the fact that total 3 looks good. So you look at total 3. When you want to trade altcoins, you should be looking at, if you're trading altcoins and you're not looking at total 3 every day, you're not doing it right. Okay? Because you're not seeing if the overall path for the entire section of things that you're trading is looking okay. You want to have that open mind. You want to have that open sense, all right, on a bigger time. So you want to look at total 3, the entire market cap, which we already looked at, and we see bullishness. Okay? But even on the 3-day chart, so the daily chart says for the next week and a half, we could start seeing some moves for the altcoins. Nothing's guaranteed. Remember that. Just because it high probability says we could move doesn't mean we're gonna. But over time, if we always keep taking that call, we're gonna be in profit over time. So I still can't believe I sold my Caspa. I'm like in awe. I'm just sitting here like I just think about it. I'm like, how could I sell all of it at 44? It's going to go back up. And what happens when it goes back up and I have to FOMO back in? But that's living in fear. I don't live in fear. I believe that if I was supposed to sell, then I was supposed to sell. And if God was meant for me, then maybe there's another coin I'm going to get into. So if Caspa keeps going, maybe I'm supposed to put that $15,000, $16,000 into something else that's going to 100x. And so be it. You do eventually have to stick to the plan at one point, though. And my plan always has been to hold Caspa long term, but not to hold it through the ups and downs. You know what I mean? I see it go up huge. Think about it. And it goes back down to 2, all right? And I can buy $15,000 back at 2.5 or even 3 cents, a 50% discount from where it is now. And I get 50% more of my Caspa. I end up getting almost 1 million Caspas. And then it goes to that number. Who cares about the short-term gain that I have to pay taxes on now? The bigger gain will pay for it. Hopefully I can hold it for a year. It'd be amazing, right? So these are kind of the concepts that I think as Caspa pumps up to 45, right? But these are the ideas that 44.5 then. But these are just the ideas that I go over and I think about, okay? And I could be wrong. Maybe Caspa continues to pump. This is the problem. You never know. I plan to show you the pains of a trader. Like today I had to sell something, but I don't know for sure. There's no guarantees that I made the best move. But the technical analysis tells me that I did. And I go from there. You see what I mean? And the more I do that, the less emotions I use, the better off I'm going to be over time. Over time, I'm going to have a bigger portfolio. I'm going to learn how not to, fall into those traps that the market maker is attempting to put people into. And I'm learning how to curb my emotions and really push forward. So it's a constant process as a trader. It's every day. And you're working with the internal being of who you are and the charts. All right. And you eventually got to pull the trigger, make that decision. And you're going to live with whatever decision you make. If you're okay with your life and you submit to God and you believe that everything is happening for a reason and you're super grateful for every experience, then you're never going to beat yourself up and be depressed and go into those pockets of time that you used to go into, because it won't make sense. So once you live in a state of gratitude and you raise your frequency, you can't go back to the low frequency behaviors you used to have. It's literally like it's like going into level 2 in a video game. You can't play level 1 once you get to level 2. You just can't. Level 1 is over. You can never go back to you can lose the game and go back to level 1. But when you're playing level 2, you're playing level 2. You can't play 2 levels at the same time. So once you raise your vibrational frequency, you can't play the lower vibrational frequency level anymore. You just can't. You can't blame people for your behavior. You can't get upset. You can't beat yourself up. You can't have negative self-talk. That stuff just starts to erode. You realize you're in control. And then you see the people that were winning and you realize that's what they were doing. You're like, wow, that's what that Grant Cardone guy was doing. That's what that Tom Brady guy was doing. You get it. You literally tap into the frequency of success and you can understand what successful people were doing. Like it hits you. You're like, oh my gosh. And you realize so much of it was mentality. Now, I'm going to teach you something. And I bring this up. I used to bring this up a lot, but not as much anymore. And I'm going to be probably deep diving it more on my other channel because it's not technical analysis. I know everyone here wants to make gains. But I want to make you the most amazing person on earth. Not just an amazing trader. Subconscious mind theory. All right? And I learned this from Joe Dispenza and a few other people. But your subconscious mind is picking up information all day. It's then redirecting that energy and that movement back into your cortex of your brain. And it's having a pretty big influence on your decision-making process over time. However, because we can't see whatever our subconscious mind likes to pull in on any given day, we don't realize what's really driving us to be who we are and do what we want to do. That's why for years, my subconscious mind had been hijacked by advertising, New York City, right? I was always in Times Square, sexual ads, right? I was over-sexualized. No, I'm serious, and I hate to, and my brain, and so when I wanted to start a business, I was always thinking about all these other things, and even my identity and who I was catered and a bit, I was brainwashed, I'll be honest, by advertising and life, and eventually I could come back to myself. I'd get to nature and I'd find myself, and that's why I realized, wow, see, I just had an epiphany with each and every one of you. You guys just did therapy for me. I moved back to Boston and my whole life changed. Things started to go really well, all right? When I moved back to Boston, why? Because I started going into nature. When I got into nature, I was getting less subconscious bombardment, like I was in New York City. And I was finding myself more and eventually got to find who I was and come back to really who I wanted to be. And then and then the channel blew up and then the Lifer was formed and all. So through subconscious mind. And then I really studied this. And late at night, I started playing videos of positive mind theory. I started listening. I am good. I love money. I can make money. Money's going to come in all different ways to my life. I'm going to be able to make money in all different ways, and because I grew up, kind of middle class, kind of like that, like kind of hating on the rich kind of thing, not a lot of hate. It was always love in my family, but there's a little, they get to buy, they do, and I had to fall in love with money. I had to realize that money was there for me. It was going to change my life. Anyway, the people that left the stream, we had a lot of people in the stream. The people that left didn't want to hear about subconscious mind theory, but they don't realize is that's kind of the reason why a lot of your trades aren't playing out. You can sit there and learn everything I teach you, but if your subconscious mind is hijacked, you're not going to be a great trader. I don't care. So you have to understand these concepts. And if you want to become a billionaire, multimillionaire, you want to mold the fabric of time and space, and you want to become someone that actually changes society as a whole on a very influential level, then you're going to have to take control of your subconscious mind. So it's more than once you make the money, you become a billionaire, then you're going to do, you can't sit in front of a screen and trade your entire life. You can do it for 5, 20, 30 years, but at one point, you're going to want to go out and use that money to do something different, right? You're going to want to change the world with it. So anyway, let's get back into the chat. I apologize if I went off topic there, but I'm still here. The Lifers are still here. The only thing that matters is to raise your frequency, be positive, motivate, and manifest. Yeah. The wisdom is precious. The bread man. Amen. Love this part of the show. So much more to life than money. Yeah. Well, I'm saying, but see, what people don't realize is I am talking about money right now. I am talking about money. See, what the weirdest thing is when people leave the show when I talk about these concepts because I'm not sticking on technical analysis. And again, who cares? The beautiful people more people come in too that are supposed to hear that frequency too. So let's stay on that positive mindset. But the idea is we are talking about how to trade. We are talking about money. You know what I mean? It's funny. Like your subconscious mind is going to pull in more money than you've ever thought possible once you get in control. So we are talking about how to make the most money in the world. We are giving. The average person doesn't know the information they need to become wealthy. They're brainwashed, so why would they know what, you know what I mean? See? Like we're influenced by too many things. So it's hard for us to make the right decisions. Get it? Anyway, there is our divergence. That could be our high or low in the 30-second chart. There's our cup and handle, right? Remember the cup and handle? Master Friend talks about it all the time, right? And again, they got to liquidate a bunch of people so they can keep it, so they can get a move back to the upside, don't they? That's a very strong divergence. I don't see us making a stronger one than that. I'll be honest. As long as this low stays above that low, we're going to make a move to the upside here for Bitcoin. And look, there's your cup and there's your handle. And you probably think I'm nuts right now if you haven't seen my channel before. And you're like, this guy's out of his mind. But let's see, and again, it's also a double bottom. It could Adam and Eve. If it can play out like an Adam and Eve and round out and pump back up to again, we could end up losing this level and continue to dump. I'm not saying, but many times we see the reversal on the smaller time frame with this exact type of structure. Many times. So let's see. We got to get above now the resistance at 29,500, right? Let's take a look at BOOKMAP. They've gotten themselves pretty close to the liquidity zones that they wanted to get to. They got low. They didn't get all the way down. And let's take a look here. Also, the liquidity isn't as thick as it was before, which is interesting. Isn't that weird? Before, it was very thickly yellow. There was a lot more levels. Once they got these bit, it's almost like they pulled, but they still got this guy sitting at 29,000, and we still got way more liquidity in the zone. But we did breach, and we came into the idea, and we got some big liquidations. 1,144,000. They got a lot of people liquidated this morning, for sure. So they nailed the longs pretty nicely. Now it's probably time to go after the shorts, right? A bunch of people open up shorts right now. Low volume. And look, do you see that pump out the candle right there? Boom. See that? Boom. Low stochastic on the 30-second chart. Back to the upside. However, we got to break back above 29,500 now to remain bullish. All right? The 4-hour cup and handle is beautiful. Shout out to 554 High, man. My man. Love you, brother. The weekly cup and handle is nice, too. The 3-day cup and handle looks great. We got cup and handles everywhere, baby. So let's stay focused on the task at hand. I like that the lifers are looking at the bigger time frames and staying focused. I love it. I love it. I love it. Boom, boom, boom. Abdominal Redman, man. You went from a beginner trader to a guy who started some concepts here and there to a person who really took to the next level, man. And lifer always grinding, hoping to be making trades with you guys again sometime. United States, come back in, man. Super chats. We got ChatGPT, we got Space, we got OP, we got GFAL, we got SHIB. Wow, we got a lot of super chats to go through. Unreal. Shout out to the 583 people on the live. Good morning, lifers. Looking for your confirmation that I'm learning. Do you see 4-hour Sammy Cup and Handy on SHIB? God bless. We'll take a look at that. The occasional gambler. Greg Smallwood, not to be confused. SHIB. Also ask about SHIB. I actually have that's going to be easy for me. That's going to take me 1 second. Can you check out GFAL? Also, thanks for pointing out Cass. I made big gains, baby. Shout out to Cryptomaniac making big gains on Caspa, man. I'm so happy that you did that. Creighton for the $9.99, man. God bless you, just cause. Thank you so much. That's awesome. You're awesome. I see you on Miss Teen Crypto. I believe I see you on Frankie. I see you all over the place, man. Shout out to Creighton. We love you, brother. Beautiful person. OP, Optimism, please, Sam. Shout out to D-Dubs and Space, Deep Dive. Bitcoin L2 quicker than Stacks. Oh, really? Space is going to be a Bitcoin L2 quicker than Stacks. That's interesting. That's Space ID, or is that another thing called Space? So right now, we're going to leave Bitcoin for a second. Bitcoin has to break back above 29,500, 512. And I know it's psychological, but we got to break back above it. Look, we're making the shoulder. Look, we're making another inverted head and shoulder. You see, this is crazy. And look, did we hit 530? We hit 513. But look, the inverted head and shoulder did break to the upside here that we showed you on the 32nd. That was a scalp trade right there. That made you money. Right there made you money. I'm just saying, like I did point out a trade that made money right there. Inverted head and shoulder. And I found it. That was a pot. You know how many people would never see that on the 32nd? Just insane. Here it is again. We got another inverted. We should get up. We're starting to get tight moving averages. We should pump up to the 200 SMA. These are the concepts that I teach over and over again. All right. And nothing's guaranteed. We could continue to drop. If we lose this level, lower low. All right. I'm open-minded to believe that we're in this. Look, we're in a symmetrical triangle. And we could break down either way, the base of the triangle. Boom. Or bake back to the upside. So like I see exactly what's happening here. Okay. I see the cup and handle. I see the inverted. I saw that inverted. I see the symmetrical. I see the both ways we can go. I see the tight moving averages pumping up to the 200 SMA. That's highly likely. All right. Because I've seen these things before. My time in the market is giving me an edge. I've seen too much of this stuff over and over again. I still know that anything is possible and anything could happen at any moment in time because I stay open-minded. My mindset has a lot to do with my trading. You could have the same information as me, but if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to be able to see the same things that I see. You get it? Or you're not going to be able to play the chart that same way because you're going to be like, oh, you're going to have biases. You can't have those biases. Look, this is the inverted head and shoulder right here. Look, there's the shoulder, there's the head, there's the right shoulder. It's interesting. Or actually, there's the little one. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Because we're on like the 32nd. But you can see the stuff inside of the charts. That liquidation should hold. It was a very big one. $2 million. I mean, that's one of the biggest long liquidations I've seen in a long time. That's huge. So that was definitely a divergence. Swing down to swing down. That swings down, but not as sharp as that swing down. And then even right there on the 32nd, you could almost say, yeah, there's the divergence right there too that we wanted. That's the swing down to swing down. It's really hard to see. But there's swing to swing. And then if you see here, that swings up. See, it's a tiny divergence, but it's there. It's there. Summer's being mean? Oh. I don't know why my wife is letting the baby come into the show recently. Babe, how come you're letting the baby enter the show all the time recently? Like I'm working yesterday, she let the baby come during, like... She's got to give your phone back. All right. I'm working now, baby. I'll be upstairs in a little bit. You look really cute in the yellow. I love you. She smiled when I said that. Like, wow. All right. Let's take a look at our baby Shiba Inu. All right. On MEXC. Or do I have it on? I know I got a setup on it right now. So I'm like, I must have a KuCoin chart. It's on MEXC and KuCoin though. So don't be, I was like, where's my SHIB trade, man? All right, BB, come on now. I'm running a serious show, my love. I don't know what's going on. All right. My love. Thank you. All right. So here's Shiba Inu on the 4-hour time frame. I know last week my wife was just allowing the baby to roam the house. She never did that before. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. We did remove a baby gate from the stairs, but there's no excuses. You know what I mean? Like I'm a professional man grinding. All right. Here's the deal. Here's Shiba Inu on the 1-hour time frame. All right. And I can see that the MACD is starting to make a bit of a move here, getting tighter and lack of bearish momentum. This, like I see shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder there, cup and handle vibes. Casper looked a lot like almost identical to this before it made the move to the upside. I want to see if I could grab an idea for you. Look at Akash Network, man. That thing is almost about to come back to its highs again. This thing is booming. And look at that flag right there. This thing could continue. See the flag on the 1-hour time frame here? I would keep my eye on Akash. AKT. possibly 26, 27% gains coming for that measured move, maybe even more. I'd watch this closely when it touches that 21. The movement average is getting a little far apart, but it gets about that high volume node. Boom. It hits again for some money. So, and it's getting oversold in the stochastics RSI. I would watch Akash. So here, I want to look at the Caspa fractal here, and I should teach you how to grab a fractal as well. Shout out to the 600 people on the live. Thank you for jumping on it. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I'm done with subconscious mind theory. We're back into the charts, so you can come back in if that scared you or hurt your feelings. Anyway, I'm messing around. But look, see this? This is what Caspa was doing before it ended up breaking out, right? So what you're going to do is here is where do they changed this a little bit, but I'll find it. Oh yeah, I never ended up finding it. I had to go here. Isn't that funny? Bars pattern, but I had it there. So to me, copy that, go to SHIB, paste that, and you can see how very similar of a setup they are. Like almost identical. Like they are actually identical. Like the market maker's using some type of, he's using some type of algo to do the same thing to these coins. And the algo is creating a trail like a snail. You know what I mean? I have so many weird things that I can teach you about the charts that I actually haven't shown you guys in months or that will blow your mind. But so SHIB, I mean, does it do a Caspa and boom up? I say it does. I have a setup right now in play, stop loss, everything ready to go for the lifers. So I'm bullish on SHIB. I like what I'm seeing for it. The daily looks amazing. I like this consolidation. And, Caspa was in the exact same formation. I can't say it's going to happen again, but I mean, Caspa was basically in the exact same formation. Look at it. It's like identical. Like it's insane. And I have this photographic recognition where I can see something and my brain can find out where I've seen it again in my mental Rolodex. And it can go brrr, boom, like brrr, boom. And I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world. Sometimes that actually gets in the way of me being seemingly intelligent. It kind of but I have some type of weird brain. And it works really well with the charts, because if I see one chart, I can see something and I'm and it does math really fast. And so it works really well for the charts. So that's another reason why I tell people join my trading group, because I'm an anomaly. My brain is strange. Just take advantage of my strange brain for $3 a day. It's kind of you know what I mean? I'm obsessive compulsive. I have an extreme hard work ethic. I've met people, multimillionaires, that look me dead in the face. Dude, I've never seen someone work as hard as you, bro. So I will teach you how to work your butt off. I will teach you how to stay consistent. I will teach you how to stay disciplined. And I'll teach you how not to use your emotions in these charts, baby, every single day. So SHIB looks beautiful to me. I like what's happening. I wouldn't be surprised if it did get a big move. It's trending as well, so throw that into the mix. SHIB trending last night. Another thing that you'll see is I'm always scanning the internet too, and I'm looking what's happening as I'm going to sleep at night. Last night, wow, I work so, we've done so much already, but last night, right, SHIB trending. I'm showing you, SHIB's got 1 million posts. What? Something's going on there. Okay, so SHIB, there's SHIB. That's a super chat. Thank you for the super chats. God bless everyone that sent in the super chat. Send in a super chat for TA and deep dive if you want to go over something, talk about a coin, break down a concept, look at something on coin market cap, if you want to look at how big it is, circulating supply, whatever it is, you let me know. But I am bullish on Shiba Inu right now. This setup looks absolutely beautiful. So there it is. And I'm bullish on the daily, and I'm bullish on the 1 hour. Both time frames look to me like the 22 hour looks great. All right. 8 hours low. This consolidation is nice. And it's telling me that something is brewing for SHIB. Moving averages are getting pulled apart, but not not too bad. And we're starting to just get some movement. Shibarium's coming out too, isn't it? In the next couple of weeks, or maybe in a week. That's also a pretty big deal. So alts, man. Alts are starting to take more of the attention. I pay it, I'm seeing it. Maybe you're seeing it. So I talked about GFAL, and I just drew this, and it's been boring coin. No one really knows about it. The market cap's tiny. It's going to move small until it starts to get some movement. This is a long-term hold for me. I put it away, and I just, got in so early. I'm not going to sell this off like Casper and get in and out. Just let this thing continue to rock. So super awesome. I like what it's doing. I see a bounce actually back to the top of the pattern sometime in the next, I'd say, week or two. Little swing trade up here, if it even just hits this and then gets tight. I'd want to see it continue in this way. If it starts to fall down and does this M and break down, I'll buy more at these lows. This is a coin I'm just going to DCA into and hold for a long term. All right. I've made it clear that I like it. I did my research. We got it in at $5 million market cap, $4 million. I think it's sitting at like a 9 now. Went to a high about a 10 or 15, about a $15 million market cap. So I'm just watching this consolidation. Really nothing really has to talk about. Very oversold in the daily. I see a move back up out of this falling wedge back to the upside. Bit of a cup and handle, double bottom there too as well. And previous resistance becomes support as long as we hold 0.13. We're looking pretty good. So, yep. And once it does break out of this symmetrical triangle, the measured move could take us all the way to 33.09. So that's what we're looking at. My real estate investment deal did go through. I was approved by the mortgage lender. I'm going to break it down for you guys. Who here wants to know about my real estate deals? Who here says, I do not care. Please just show me the charts and don't waste my time. Just let me know. Say, keep your real estate deals on your Sam Price channel. I don't want to know about your real estate deals. But if you want to know, let me know. You know what I mean? I thought it would be cool just to kind of show you how I diversify some of my money. You know what I mean? I'd love to hear about it. Getting involved myself. After hours. Real estate. Tell all. Congrats. I want to know the deals. The deets. Check out PEPE or Algo, please. Algo's the worst, man. Thomas Van Roosmalen. Thomas, thank you for sending in a super chat. I haven't seen your name before, but it does say you've sent in a super chat before, so God bless you, brother. Mortgages are for suckers. Real estate. Everything is meaningful. You give. Please show. Let's go. Yeah, mortgages are for suckers if you're the one paying the mortgage, not if you have the renter paying the mortgage. That's a completely different story. Life or on real estate, it doesn't matter. You're keeping everything interesting. Talk about anything you like if it helps others improve. Amen. A symmetrical triangle, are there a specific amount of bounces? Or that I've seen as 7 bounces usually breaks out. Yeah, I mean, you usually get 3 on the bottom. You know, I've had dyslexia bad since birth. Really felt held back in life. But since watching your Lifer channel all day, every day, and other people, just believe me, dreams do come true to those that plot it. They really will, man. And you know what? My dad was dyslexic. You know, he had issues. My dad ended up being a millionaire, man. My dad died a millionaire with 3 properties and, you know, and a nice trust fund. Like, my dad did well for himself. He didn't give me a dime of it, and I'm happy he didn't. He made me grind. But again, that's the point, right? So I want to hear about the real estate. All right, so it's not the best deal in the world. I'm not trying to brag. It's not amazing. The idea is the first piece of property you should ever buy should be a rental property. All right, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice. All right, right off the bat. But cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. You're sitting on $500,000. All right. Let's say you're renting for $3,000 a month. All right. Nice, you know, nice house in a decent middle class neighborhood. Your kids are going to, you know, private schools. Everything's going well for you. You ended up saving $500,000. All right. Now you're like, I got to buy my house with my wife. That's what everybody does. So you put the $300,000 down on a home. That home now is a liability. It cash flows nothing, right? Doesn't bring you any money. It gives you a mortgage after you put, it's probably an $800,000 home at least. So after the 3, you owe $500,000. So now you're paying a mortgage. Fine. You've took the $3,000 that you were paying in rent and now you're giving it to the mortgage. So cool. You own some equity. I get it. It's better than renting in some way. But what if you keep renting and you put $200,000 on a $700,000 rental unit, right? And that starts to cash flow you $500 after expenses. And then every time you get, you keep doing that, eventually after 5 years, maybe even less, you're going to be making $3,000 a month off of the investment properties. They're going to be paying for you to where you live. You're going to still, if you were able to save this $500,000, then you're going to be able to save it again if you're a grinder. So my idea is to buy cash flow to cash flow. Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. All right. So what I did is I took $200,000 and I went in with somebody else and we put $400,000 down on a $750,000 unit. All right. Now it has 5 units in it. It has a 3-bedroom at the top and has 4 1-bedrooms. It cash flows $6,650 a month. All right. Because one guy pays $1,150, 4 people pay $1,250, and the upstairs pays like, I think $1,650. Well, I did the math. That's the cash flow. All right. So after all expenses for me, it's only going to make me about, let's say, $600 a month. And then I pay 4% in the total rent to not have to do anything. My buddy runs a real estate management company. I give him 4% of the total rent a month. So that would be, right, 10% here would be $665, right? So I give him about $300 a month for him to just, if the renter leaves, he puts a new renter in. If there's snow removal, he removes the snow. If the hot water heater breaks, he replaces it. Whatever happens, he takes care of it all for 4% a month. I don't do a dang thing. So I don't have to operate. I don't have to do any of that. And so cash flow, so I put 200 grand aside. If in 10 years it doubles, I make 200 grand off the 200 grand, and it cash flows about $4,600 a year, right? So after all expenses, you know what I mean? And then the renters are paying the equity of the mortgage for me. So this is not one of the greatest deals, but an okay deal. All right. I'm sure you could find better. My interest rate was pretty high with the mortgage. It was around a 7.87. So my interest rate was pretty high, but the numbers still work. Still cash flowed, right? So you got to pay for that hot water heater. Exactly. Never say no to free real estate. Love how you shift in and out, narrow your scope, then broaden it. Nice, man. That's a great start. Let's get back into BTC. And I'm sorry to break that down, but I just want to show you that I'm doing different things, not just cryptocurrency, because I'm so heavily invested in crypto. It's good to have something else on the side, right? Yeah. Never say no to free real estate. You got to pay for that hot water here. I know. Difference is you got in the game. Yeah. Now I didn't sign the check yet. It's all been approved. We didn't buy the property yet. Everything's been approved though. The seller took our offer, right? Like we're in. Like everything's been going well. We're in. I did not, I could still probably put out the deal at the last second. I don't believe I'm going to, but it is what it is. So look, we talked about that, how that cup and handle would break to the upside, right? There's your cup, there's your handle. You could almost say this was your handle, and it was kind of like a symmetrical handle, I guess. But anyway, it did break out. It did breach, right? We got this symmetrical triangle to break out. We got a bit of a double bottom here. It almost looks like an Adam and Eve, doesn't it? See that? It's got some Adam and Eve vibes. Well, we got ourselves a double bottom on the 30-second chart. We didn't make a low lower than the low of the divergence, which means we probably got the liquidations we wanted for the day. That should be our daily low. We don't know for sure, but how many more people are going to have the gall to go back in when they got rocked like that? 2 million liquidations? That was a fat liquidation. So it tells us that now we just got to make a high above 29.5 and we're good to go. And remember, 29.3 was a horrible area, right? So look, I had to do so much work. If I go to the 4 hour, that's going to be messy, right? But that's, I'm working the smaller time frames to figure out where we're going to stop dumping for each and every one of you, so everyone can calm down and we don't have to freak out. Lifer, can you take a look at EOS token for your boy? It's actually in a fall. I got a photographic memory. EOS is in a falling wedge on the daily, if I remember correctly. Let's take a look. I never wanted a coin to go down so bad. Now I'm like, the coin I love the most needs to go down now. It's so weird, right? I can't believe I sold my Caspa. I can't believe I pulled the trigger, but I did it. I'm learning, man. I'm learning. Anyway, let's break it down. I haven't looked at this in a long time. There's the falling wedge that I just talked about in my mind. How did I know that? My brain remembers it if I've seen it like 1 or 2 times in the last couple of days. So EOS is in a falling wedge, okay? You got a low, you got a high, you got a lower low. You're overbought on the daily, oversold in the daily, which is a good sign, and you're making your first higher high in a long time. A higher low, I mean. There's a higher low right there. If you can keep the higher low, that'd be great, So you got this falling wedge. I wouldn't be trading EOS. It's boring. Nobody cares about it. Even Dan Lammer, who built it, left the project. You know what I mean? He doesn't even care about it anymore. I don't know. But it's up to you, completely up to you. Do whatever makes you happy. So tight moving averages. I can see us pump up to the 200 SMA. You see that? How we're starting to get tight. And we did fall out and came back into the guard. We went to the volume area low, and we're now on this high volume node. I like what I'm seeing. I mean, this could actually make a move here. That could be your first high low. And it's kind of a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. We're seeing that in a lot of other charts too as well. So EOS, more like adios. Adios, you're funny. Paid principal on a 3rd-year mortgage and paid it off at 18 years. What's the ages on here? I'm 24. I love how you focus on Bitcoin because that's all I trade, LOL. NRG did 2,000. I don't know what that means. Guessing it's 32. Potter's Podcast. God bless you, brother. I hope you're doing well on the Potter Podcast. Cake Superstar. I'm 37. I'm 40. Yeah, we have like 25 to 50. Really, there's a big range. 24. Yeah, a lot of 24s in here. I love it. I can help mold the young minds to become great people. To become great parts of society. You know what I mean? So I do see it. This is kind of cup and handle-esque. It's high risk. Let's take a look at your 4-hour time frame. 4 hours getting oversold too. If that was overbought, you'd be like, eh. There's a chance EOS does break out here. There's a really big chance. You could wait for the retest too. Breaks out, retest maybe the top trend line or one of these areas of support and resistance like that. But I do see some movement for EOS. I really do. Even though I don't like the coin, I think it's garbage. See, my emotions have nothing to do with my TA. All right, let's take a look at PEPE. Algo is dead as a doorknob. Good morning, Lifer and friends. Looking for your confirmation that I'm learning. Do you see a Sammy cup and handy on SHIB? God bless. Yeah, it's slight. There is a slight cup and handle on SHIB. You are learning. You're doing great. Because I put it, it's in a fractal, and I put that same cup and handle on. And look, if you just look at the 4-hour here, I mean, that's just like that's about to break out. I don't see how that doesn't break out. Like, that's so bullish to me, right? I'd be surprised if SHIB doesn't break out, I'll be honest. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy that does this every day. I don't know a dang thing, right? But yes, you asked a cup and handle. Yeah, I see this as the cup. And that is the handle. Yes, I do see the 4-hour cup and handle. You could even make this the handle if you want. The handle doesn't have to be a falling wedge. It can be a symmetrical triangle. You're spot on, my guy. You're spot on with that super chat. There is a cup and handle there. The occasional gambler, you're nailing it. You're getting better at what you're doing. You're getting life or vision. That's what we call it. All right. Okay, check out GFAL. Also, thanks for pointing out CAS. I made big gains. How many people made big gains on CASPA, baby? You know? And I like, and while he's giving us space, which is that space ID? We'll look at that in a second. Thank you for all the super chats, man. Look at all these super chats coming in and the gifted memberships. God bless everybody that did that today. $53 in chat revenue, 542 people on the live, 357 likes. I wish I never mentioned subconscious mind theory, but I wanted to retain as many people to learn the TA as I can. So I guess I got to stay on TA. I guess I can do subconscious mind theory on my other channels. It is. I have to learn these hard lessons. Can you check out GFAL? Always. Thanks for pointing out, Cass. And so we went over GFAL. We nailed that. We talked about SHIB. We nailed that. We talked about EOS. We got that done. Let's take a look at OP, Optimism. On MEXC. All right. So I had this in a symmetrical, an ascending triangle. It was moving up with the flatter top. It broke out, broke right back inside the pattern again. I've seen this play out, and then I've seen the symmetrical triangle just break out again. Pretty annoying, but it does happen. In my trading style, I act like this never happened. But look, we got rejected by that beautiful resistance right there. You know what's interesting is I may raise this up. Look at that. And there we go. And now we still have the structure. And there's the bounce. Aha. And now I see the trade. Possibly 57% coming out of Optimism. That even can be considered kind of a cup with a handle too if we get up higher. And the moving average is coming up to the 200 SMA. It's weird we didn't hit it. So I see a move for Optimism to the upside too as well. We're inside of a gap of the VRVP. We made it through the, you see this gap? We're likely to get all the way up here to the high volume node at 277. Of course, 777. See that? It was on the 777s too, not just the, my hand went on the 777s. That was crazy. So I believe we can make a gain of possibly 77. Of course, at the 777s to 77. So weird. I just dragged it, And the falling wedge is breaking out that you're originally in. You breach this resistance. You breach this long-term resistance. Look at the last time you breach a long-term resistance. You hit, you reach, and eventually you're on your way out. You're on your way out. So I see optimism making a bigger gain. It's interesting. Now I see something different too. A giant bullish megaphone. And I see optimism making its way, maybe likely all the way back to the top of the channel here. So optimism looking bullish to me. I showed you total 3 looks good. That means it's telling us it's time to load up on some alts. And I don't believe it's alt season. All right. But it looks like the alts are going to get a little bit of a relief rally here. That's what the charts are conveying to us. That's another reason you want to come to this channel, because it's not just about, oh, what coin are we going to buy? Let's buy right now. It's about what is the overall market doing? Do we have high probability of multiple coins moving to the upside? Should we deploy a lot of capital back in? Like, when do I put more money into the market? When do I not put more money in the market? So interesting. So let me just post this chart here that I'm looking at. And again, if you don't make it to the live stream, we do post charts that people super chat, that we talk about, so that if you can't see it, you'll still have access. All right. So optimism, looking interesting. Now, if it loses that trend line, it's a wrap, right? And I see a super chat just creeped in. I just can't see it yet, because my fingers are moving and I can't move off the screen that I'm on. But I will get to that super chat in a second. Optimism needs to hold the bottom trend line there, but it's looking good to me. All right. ETHBTC says alts are going to get a run. SR flip. Shout out to my man on the ETHBTC chart. I was looking at it the other day too. I'm sure the Clintons will pump it to make it look good. You're funny. First time watcher here. Loving the content so far. Shout out to Fumble Hands, man. Thank you for saying that. Shout out to Fumble Hands, first time. Really like to push for all those first timers. Let them know we love you. Become a crypto lifer today. Jump on in. I have a trading group. Hit the link to the description right here. Look, hit the link to the trading group right there. Hit the link to the MEXC. We use MEXC all day long. Futures, spot, pay no fees. I love it. Let's take a look at Chat GPT. And so the format of the show, if you're new, I start with Bitcoin, usually go over the dollar index, S&P futures, total 1, total 3. Get through a bunch of the biggest ideas that we can. Then around 11 o'clock, I kind of change the format. I might talk about a few things here and there, but mainly if Bitcoin's going crazy, it's Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin release and we find out where we're at, we get back into the super chats. Around 11:30, I do a news segment, and then I'm out at 12 o'clock. Today I'm a little late on the news segment because the super chats are bombarding us. I'm super happy about that. So I'm not complaining. I just want to make that really clear. I do not complain. My life is a blessing every single day of my life. I'm super excited to have what I have. Chain GPT. Let's talk about it. We got it in down here, and it ripped to the upside. I don't even remember. I got in at like 10 cents or 9 cents on the live stream, and then I made this quick 3X, and then it got sold off all the way to the downside. I didn't pay attention much to it. Watch it get sold off. I did not sell the top. I didn't care. I had a small position. I think this thing could do numbers over time. Weird that it dumped as hard as it did, and it got to this low at 4.6. To me, it's a rounded bottom. There's not much to see here, and it could be a rug pull coin that just continues to dump. The daily's overbought, and it is pointing to the downside. So not a lot of information, right? Technical-wise, we don't get a lot on there. 6 hours suggesting, hey, I'm in a little bit of a flag here, and I could break back above the 200 SMA. Definitely possible a place to buy the bottom of this coin. I think I'll grab another, like, I don't know, $250 of it and just see what happens. Because it's got that chain GPT thing in it. But it did just get completely sold off. People must have got into it before it even got to KuCoin, and then they just consistently sold it off. I do see a possible scalp here on the 6 hour time frame back above. And if it's making its first higher low in a long time, if it can hold that higher low, it'll be its first higher low in a long time, which means it is the change in this insanely long trend. We should get a bit of bullish divergence there, and I see it swing down on the 6 hour, but you're swinging up on the RSI. Beautiful, panning out. We got it there before, though. We got a little bit of divergence there, but there's your move. You flip this resistance here at 6.6, and then you get above the 200 SMA. This thing could slowly make a move back up. You'd have to really believe in it and like it. I don't really believe in it or like it like that. I have calls where I truly believe in things, and then I have calls that I just kind of like, just complete. They're somewhat like gambling calls. I have to be honest. This one is far more high risk. It's like, hey, you put 500 to $1,000, you come back in 2 years, either it's at zero and you never made a dime, or this thing is at 50 to 100 grand possibly. All right. It's crazy how these 2 hours fly so fast. Every time, I just find it weird. Like it's not supposed to go by that fast. It's 2 hours. You know what I mean? It's a long stream. My wife's always like, you should cut the stream down. I'm like, but I barely get through everything that I need to in the 2 hours. How could I cut the stream? And everyone's like, oh, if you cater to the hour, you have more subscribers if you just make one video for 5 minutes a day. And I'm like, I get it. Like I'm supposed to do what everyone else does, but I live for this live stream and I live for this connection with each and every one of you. And I love it. So, okay, space, deep dive, Bitcoin layer 2. Is that microvision chain? Not yet, because ID, yeah. So microvision chain on MEXC. All right, let's take a, so someone asked me about it before. I did put it in the symmetrical triangle breakout. Looks like it came down, would have stopped us out, and then did pump back to the next resistance, which is interesting. Let's take a look at it on the market cap. Space, microvision chain. All right. $212 million market cap. Under my, how did it already get up there when I just found out about it? Space going to smash its all-time high, 20x. Everyone loves that, right? It's on MEXC and Safe Trade. It's a UTX model public blockchain based on proof of work consensus. It aims to ultimately achieve scaling with high currency feature of the UXTO model. Combined with layer 1 high performance smart contract and DI solutions, MC will become the perfect buyer for massive Web3 applications to develop on. It doesn't say it's going to be on... Interesting. Let's see the website. Bitcoin plus smart contract, but decentralized ID and scalability. So it is a layer 2 for Bitcoin. All right, or a layer 1 for Bitcoin. Layer 1 decentralized identity, born for Web 3. Interesting. 8 billion users to enter the Web 3 era. Talks a good game. Will they really do what they're going to do? Who knows? It's got a bridge. Careful with those bridges. You know. And it has its own chain. It's weird. I don't see a contract address, but it has its own chain. Someone had asked us about it, as you can see my TA there. But just coming out, and ever since it came out at 7, I mean, it doubled up to 15. It's in a double up right now. 6 hours resetting, and it looking pretty bullish. So, like, it's almost like you may be making something like this here. I like the consolidation. This coin looks hot to me. It's just not enough people look like they could sell it off. It didn't get that nasty spike up like you see when they get onto MEXC. This thing could make gains. I wouldn't be surprised if we were 27. I'm going to keep an alert on this and keep watching it. Thank you for giving us a new coin to trade on MEX Global, which has some promise. I really appreciate that. You're the man. But yeah, I see it possibly coming back down to the lower channel here, bouncing. But I see it consolidating. I like this. All right, so we got Optimism out the way. We got ChatGPT out the way. We got SHIB out the way. We got GFAL. PEPE. PEPE is interesting. All right. I'm not going to spend too much time on PEPE. I got a pretty locked and loaded chart on it right now. So look, and so far it has bounced as I suggested it would off the bottom here. Not amazing, but PEPE on the daily looks like it could come all the way back to the top of the channel. So I'm just watching PEPE. I drew the fib. It did a beautiful retracement. I see this consolidation. I still own a bag of PEPE. All right. I don't even know how much it is worth now. I think it's $1,000. Let's see if I were to sell all my PEPE right now. $868. So like I still own some PEPE. I believe why not? I made 13 grand off it, so I threw a G and left it in there, and we'll see what happens, But PEPE could make another gain, that could make me a nice 2 grand real quick, right? So I don't need to be too greedy. I had my run up with PEPE. I had my fun. It was an amazing time to trade. It's sad. I sold it the day of my dad's wake. My dad died the week I was trading it. So sadly to say, I always remember PEPE because it was when my dad died. kind of sad, kind of whack, like how my trading life is intertwined with the death of my father. But I manned up, and I still sold close to the dang top at 38 on the Wendy O show the day I had to go to the wake. So even though my dad died that week and my life and it was unexpected, I kept my trade, man, and I made it out of my trade. Like, I didn't get all depressed and then I came back to my account weeks later, a mess. You got to maintain as a trader. I don't care what's happening in your life. I don't care who dies. I don't care what happens. This is how I survive for a living. You got to maintain as a trader. I'm going to say that again. You got to maintain as a trader. You can't let life take you out of the trades. All right? You can't make life take you out of your trades. You drew OP in an ascending triangle, but I see it broken down from a rising wedge on the daily. Hey, man, no one sees everything the same. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a rising wedge right there, right? But you're holding this trend line. That's the whole thing, and you're getting oversold. If you were high on the 22 hour, right, and you were getting down here, you would probably bounce, and you could break down. But the idea is, look, you just got a golden cross on the 22 hour. That kind of negates the fact that you believe you're going to fall out of the falling wedge, the rising wedge. I mean, you got to look at moving averages a little more too, you know? That's all. So that golden cross on the 22, you know, and if we bounce, and look, we bounced. We have not lost this trend line ever since July 1st. So I have to assume that we won't. All right. But I'm spot on. I mean, I'm with you on that rising wedge. You're not wrong. I just see a few things that you may not have seen. That's all. My buddy bid $1,000 a day before me, and he sold for $3,800. My buddy bid $1,000 a day before me, and he sold for $38,000. We're not going back. Fly high, Mr. Jimmy. Thank you, brother. Shout out to my dad, man. RIP to my father. God bless you, Dad. And we have some news, some big news today, too, that I wanted to talk about. I got somewhere around here. And it's about ITrust Capital, all right? Where is this news? I got it. But XRP became the biggest asset on ITrust Capital, which I think is a pretty big deal if you think about it, right? So XRP tops Bitcoin at ITrust Capital. So when ITrust Capital was first created, the company was great, grew exponentially with support of XRP community who saw the benefits, all right? But then in 2020, a shockwave echoed through the industry when Ripple was sued by the SEC. As a result of the lawsuit, our liquidity providers made the difficult decision to suspend the ability to buy and sell XRP on our platform. However, ITrust Capital clients holding XRP were able to keep it and held in custody via their retirement accounts. Now it's back, and it had tremendous impact on people opening up crypto IRAs and investing in XRP using their ITrust Capital account. So ITrust Capital boomed, a growth of 105%, and it's a pretty big deal. So empowering the XRP community with new opportunities. So ITrust Capital, man, is really at the forefront, and a lot of people that like XRP like ITrust Capital. Remember, the tax advantages of the IRA, right, is the main reason is investors use IRAs is the associated tax benefit. There are two main types of IRAs. A traditional IRA, right, for tax deductible contributions subject to income limits, but distributes in retirement are taxed at regular income, right? Distributions in retirement are taxed at income. But then both are, and then you have a Roth IRA, right? But both IRAs are funded with post-tax dollars. Both contributions and earnings can be withdrawn tax-free in retirement. All right. Retirement strategy is IRAs have been designed to facilitate long-term savings for retirement. It's another way to have another basket, and it's a place what I like is it's tax-free buying and selling inside of the account. I mean, that's what really matters. All right. Wow. So we had the pump up, rejection yet again. I'm going to remove all my old work. We're going to start fresh again. I don't mind. We'll go over Bitcoin one more time before I get out of here in entirety. But right now, I mean, you're making a bit of a bear flag here. That measured move is 29,188. That coincides with, the liquidity that BOOKMAP does have lower right there. 29,000, 29,200. The biggest set, I mean, we have 30,000. It's actually not that far. It's interesting. But the most liquidity is down here yet again. We did get some liquidations, but it doesn't seem like we're able to get above resistance levels. So I see this as a bear flag unless we can break back above 29,500, right? And the measured move could take us down to 29,001. But we'll look at this again before I leave the show. We looked at SHIB already in depth. I appreciate you, though. Thank you. I do timestamp, so if you want to come back to the stream in 10 or 20 minutes when my team is done, when I'm done, you'll be able to go through all the coins that I talked about on a timestamp basis. So like what I mean, like if you look here, I love watching off-grid stuff. I love that stuff. But if you go to any one of my live streams, like this one from yesterday, all right, and you just check out here, my team does a really good job of timestamping everything that we talk about, whether it's BOOKMAP, Bitcoin, if we go back to something, Casper, storage, right? So you might have missed something yesterday you want to check out. And the more coins we do, they're all there. So today, like, SHIB's going to be there. All right. Rewind like 15 minutes to see SHIB. Okay, team, I'm going to look back. Yeah, and you're going to get your SHIB. That's why people like the live stream, too. Some people just come for those timestamps. I'll be honest. I provide as much as I can for anyone that needs it. All right. Audio, somebody asked about. They were short in audio yesterday. I thought that was the plan, but let's take a look. I haven't looked at it in a long time. So whenever I look at a coin that I haven't seen in a long time, I remove the moving averages. I double click it so I can see just price action. I'm not on making dots because and I just look at what's happening. All right. So audio, I remember when it first came out and it was hot, right? Now I like the project and I like what it stands for and what it does. Watch the stream full through for effectiveness. I dare you. Fun idea. Let's watch the 12-hour candle close on Bitcoin in 4 minutes. Interesting. Super chats, Tau and ASC. All right. So we had a low for this thing at 12 cents, and then it ripped all the way on a wick to 52, and really had a major resistance point here at about, 37 cents. Just couldn't get above the zone. Then came back down, and now we're getting this bounce here too as well. That's a higher low. Okay. Cup and handle vibes, cup with a handle, right? This is definitely kind of a trend line. That's a falling wedge that could break to the upside. If you like this project, beautiful time to be getting in. That's all, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you like this project, beautiful time to be accumulating. And it may very well make here an Adam and Eve. Ooh, I don't want to do that. It may very well make here an Adam and Eve kind of double bottom that could break on out. So I'm looking for this type of price action. It could just zoom right out of this cup and handle too. Don't wait for the rounded. I'm just, I'm projecting. I'm projecting my ideas. Now I slap on the moving averages. I see they're getting tight with the 200 as the outlier. I look at the daily. The daily's right there too. Not bad. Once we flip that 200, we can go. See, once you flip the 200 SMA on the daily, all things change. If you flip it on the 4-hour, things can change too. And look, you did do that. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm not into it. So look, there's a double up there. Price action is very strange on this coin. I'll give you that. Like, remember people shorted. Yeah, it came up and people shorted the heck out of that random pump. I would DCA into this. I don't see good market structure right now, personally. So the candles aren't full. You kind of have this falling wedge. I'd either DCA in this long term. There's a chance the 4-hour breaks on out. It is retesting the 200 SMA, and you're about to get a golden cross. So you could you could give it this idea that this could break out like so, but not amazing. You know what I mean? Not amazing. So someone said head and shoulder on the 5-minute for Bitcoin. Yeah, possibly shoulder, kind of head on a right shoulder there. I see that. Doesn't look good. I mean, I drew a bear flag, right? On the 1 minute now. Bit of a double top. We had the divergence. What we have to do is make sure we don't make a low lower than this divergence. That divergence should not, that liquidation should hold as the low for the day. Because it was so massive. But there's no guarantees that that's the case, Oh my gosh, the days. What a day, man. Super chats, Tau and ASC. Dark Alley Sammy back at it again. Axle time textbook symmetrical triangle. You're funny, man. Greedy market makers, super chats, Tau, and Ascent. I remember Ascent. Don't remind me of that coin. It's funny. So yeah, I could see a move out of audio. I'm not in favor. I don't like the structure, but I believe it's a great project that long term, this is one of the greatest prices for it. But again, you do whatever makes you happy. What do I know? I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance only. Tau, which is bit tensor. Wow, this thing was nice, right? 33 went all the way up to 95, did a 3x from May 15th all the way to the 26th of July. So this thing's been hot. We haven't looked at it for a long time. You would draw a fib from here to there. You would see that you came to the golden pocket 706 retracement. You'd get your falling wedge. And then the falling wedge breaks to the upside, right? Boom. That could take you all the way to 118. All right. Now you have kind of a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder there if you can't get above that resistance. You would like this trend line to stay intact. Maybe you make this type of symmetrical. I mean, an ascending triangle. But I do see a move to the upside. Let's take a look at our 22 on our daily. Daily says you can get a nice move. 22's kind of needs to offset a little bit. But the daily's looking good for a pump to the upside. This actually looks nice. I actually like this as a trade for the trading group. It's in my parameters. It's bounced off a 618 fib. It's above a high volume node. Can get to the high volume areas. MACD is turning. Everything looking good to me. Even the 4 hour could be flipping on us here. I'd like to see a high 1 hour. That way we could flag out the 1 hour like so and wait for the Stokes to reset. I'm going to drag my alert a little closer to price action. This is something that I'm looking for a possible move. I'd pay attention to this. It's shown to be hot. It's making higher lows. It's got an uptrend to it. And it's at Fibonacci retracement levels and falling wedges. It's got confluence, which means multiple bullish ideas in one. So this one makes sense to me. I like what I'm seeing here for Tau. And again, it doesn't mean 100% it's going to go up, and it already has broken up a little bit. But you're better off playing oversold dailies than anything else. If you do that over and over again, you're just going to have a higher probability of a win rate, right? So Tau, daily oversold. Watch the 1 hour for a flag. And you want to be super cautious. You could watch the pump that is likely going to come and wait for the 4 hour to retest, retrace again, and then get the 4 hour. The more knowledge you have, the more you'll know what type of risk you're taking. All right. Last but not least is ASC, right? Which is ascend. And yeah, I don't see why it's not coming up here. Sometimes I spell the name and it helps ascend. All right, I go to CoinMarketCap and see ascend. I don't know why I'm having trouble finding it. On the 77, tiny, you can't even find the market cap. It's for ETH, wrapped ETH. All right, that's why. It's only on decentralized exchanges, right? Ascend, ASC. Oh, yeah, not Ascend. So this is where you go to Dex Screener, all right? Dex Screener is where you look up decentralized coins, all right? Search, post, send in a TA or for super chat, a super chat for TA and deep dives, everyone. I would love to just be able to pick them off the chats, but I just can't. Also, it disrespects the people that paid for the super chat if I start picking up like free super chats. So, and I don't want to create any controversy, man. I like what this is doing. It's coming, at a nice pump, and it's coming back to its previous levels, right? Hold. It's got some resistance. Hey, it made an 886 retracement. You're not buying the top at this point. This could make gains. I don't know anything about it though, and I don't know what it is, and there's not a lot of information on market cap. But the falling wedge looks like it could break to the upside. You can almost have a shoulder, kind of a head on a right shoulder there. You're looking for some divergences. You just trap in RSI. You can trap in the RSI Stoke. And you want to see, do you have a divergence on this thing, right? And I mean, the 1 hour right there, you're swinging down while you're swinging up. I mean, there's a divergence right there. That's a good sign. And you did get the bounce off of it. You're just at resistance. You flip that out of this little flag here, which has kind of cup and handle vibes. You break on out and you get the length of this pull, which that takes you to your next resistance at 1051. All right, let's look at Bitcoin one last time before I get on out of here. And I will throw in the news at the end. Sorry, I did skip the news today. I had to do too much TA. I couldn't get to the news. I apologize. All right. So let's go to the weekly. Let's break it down for anyone watching the channel with me every single day here on the Binance. I use the Binance USDT chart. Just has the most liquidity. I feel like it's the most accurate. They're all great. You can use the USD chart on Bitcoin. You can use the USDT chart on MEXC. You can use the USDT chart on whatever you want, you know. So we got this kind of forming here, right? And if you want to just, you know, make it smaller, we got this going on for sure. And we've made the higher low at this point. That candle's green. That weekly candle closes green. We can solidify the higher low in my humble opinion. And so we're in this to win it. We're in it to win it right here, as far as I'm concerned. This is the structure that I'm looking for. Now they are 50-50 patterns. They break up or down 50% of the time. But bounce, bounce, bounce. These are higher lows, and that's an uptrend. Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Uptrend, right? Yeah, I see the weekly kind of turning, but at any moment that could flip back up. And the lack of bearish momentum in the MACD tells me we're in a pretty good spot. And we negated this bearish divergence. We did it, but it didn't, you know, I feel like it just gave us a bounce off resistance. What we really want to see is we want to see a weekly candle close above these two wicks. That's 29,300. Let me keep it clean for you there, right there. You can call it 29,000. I call it 29.3, 282, 300. That weekly candle closes above that resistance, we're good. If not, we'll come and retest 28,133 again. That's that weekly support, but we wicked to it already and showed that we could bounce off of it. I backtested when the 21-day moving average crossed the 200 SMA on multiple assets throughout the world, and every single time it has made a big move to the upside. So it's like a 90% accurate, 100% accurate indication that a move is coming. Only one time was there a big move that we then retraced. All the other time, so 100% of the time a big move happened. 1% of the time we did make one retracement. It was during the black swan event of the pandemic. So I give that an anomaly. You know, we want to see that this liquidation holds for the rest of the day. It should. I don't see how we have more liquidations in waiting when we got 2 million people taken out on a Thursday low liquidity day on a summer month. It tells me it's unlikely that they were going to find a lower low today, but you never know. Okay, you never know. And I'm actually getting better at liquidity, and like my mind is changing. My subconscious mind is starting to pick up on a lot of some different things. I'm starting to see the markets even more accurately than I used to, in a weird way, by just, you know, certain indications that are popping out to me. That's what happens. You just keep drilling it around, and your mind starts seeing things differently. So I see this falling wedge breaking to the upside. I see this as the measured move, and I you know, highly likely. I've already put out a trade for this idea to the trading group, and I've already put out a long-term idea. I'm building a long-term position here. Right now, my liquidation is 27.9. All right, so we'll see. We'll go from there. We'll see what happens. But right now, the 3-day chart suggests that big move is coming to the upside. Moving averages are coming. We just got a golden cross on the 3-day chart. You could backtest that on multiple assets. Here's your homework. Put on the 5MA or the CBC 5MA DRS, 5 moving averages. Slap on the 3-day chart, right? Go to oil, gold, Tesla. Go look at some of the biggest stocks in the world. Look at Amazon, right? And tell me what happens when the 21 crosses the 200 SMA. Tell me what happens when the 50 crosses. Backtest it for yourself. Give yourself the news. Forget what the news is telling you. This is the news. The information coming out of the charts is teaching you so much. So daily wow, look at that though. The daily just kind of got overbought really fast and made a bearish div on the indicator. I don't get a bearish div on my oscillator, but it made a bearish div on the indicator. So, and that picks up some sensitive divergences. Sorry, that's the 22-hour, not the daily. All right. Daily still has some room to the upside, but it got rejected. It got rejected by 29,781. And you can see previous resistance, 1, 2, 3, becomes previous support, bounce, 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 fell through, resistance, resistance. We must flip 29,800 to remain bullish. We don't want to break back inside the pattern. We will. So here's the deal. This is where we're at is a big deal. We break back inside, we hit the bottom of the channel, and then the channel could even break out, and we could bearishly retest, and we could drop. We stay up here, and we flip this level. We're likely coming up here. This changes, and the story that we move out starts to make more sense. So we're at a very serious point here. In the next 4 or 5 days, we're going to know whether we break back inside or we start to get our move on out of here. The bigger time frames say we make our move out, and that we just got to get through the minutia of these smaller time frames. Now we're back here where I showed you the 4 hour, and see, it was moving the green screen around, which was weird.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like during a lot of my sessions, like it was like, so then it was like pulsating this light.
Is that better?
So it's the same thing we're looking for earlier today, similar structure. I'm looking for this weird falling wedge to break back to the upside. Kind of like right back where we started today. I'm looking for this wedge to break out. We started this morning with the breakout like there. We're back inside again, but we're still oversold. And we got some interesting divergences. So I see this as the pattern and a break back to the upside here in consolidation. And again, if we change and we go back inside this pattern, then we drop to the bottom. I'm not bullish or bearish, and I have an idea for both ideas. I have a move for both ideas. The moving average is getting really tight, and price action getting close to the 200 is a good sign that we will get a bounce and we'll consolidate in this zone. So I'm looking for consolidation. Nothing has really changed since the beginning of the show. We just had a little bit of a drop, but we slightly recovered. Previous resistance becomes support. We could love to hold that area at 29,287. That was the most in-depth analysis I've ever done in a while. I mean, it did wonders for me personally. Like, I just learned so much. I hope you did too. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to jump on into the news, and then we're going to kind of call it a day here on the stream. I appreciate everyone that kicked it with me throughout the entire stream and got all the knowledge that you could. X.com, yeah, I call it Twitter. I don't know how I'm not going to call it Twitter for a long time, but X.com is the spot, is the place to be. Follow me at CryptoLifer33. Y'all are blowing me up. We're moving really fast over there. I can't believe it. So, got the most Twitter followers I think I got in a day yesterday. 16,541 on our way to 17,000. Yeah, I'm going to have more Twitter followers than YouTube followers at one point. It's blowing up. And look, SHIB with 825,000 posts. Pay attention to what I talked about today. I went over a lot of coins, and I showed you where the money is. Pay attention, please. Shout out to Steffels Lesage, man. Steffel Lesage, man, I love you, brother. You work super hard. I love what you do. Shout out to Peter Kulkowski, man. Hello, let you know this guy consistent will change your life. Stay with him. Thank you for saying that, man. Lifer going hard, baby. Shout out to Lifer Adam. You go hard, Lifer Adam. I seen your wins. I seen what you're doing, man. I like that you're getting all the knowledge that there is, and you're grinding, man. I really appreciate it. All right. Last thing, let's break down the news, and we're out of here for the day. And I thought I just hit the news, but I guess maybe I didn't. 1, 2, 3. All right. I love it. I love it what I just read. Craziness. I'll be right back with the news. Hi, my name is Samuel James Price, and every single day I go over the news. And I love doing it. And we actually find out some juicy information before a lot of other people. And other channels cover it, but we tend to get to the basic facts pretty fast. So, PayPal stablecoin sparks political fury. House Financial Service Committee in turmoil. According to a recent report by Bloomberg, Maxine Waters, the top Democrat on the House Financial Service Committee, expressed deep concern over PayPal Holdings Inc. stablecoin launch without a comprehensive regulatory framework. According to Waters, the absence of regulatory oversight poses risks to consumers and the stability of the cryptocurrency market. Stablecoins, digital tokens pegged to traditional assets like the US dollar, have existed for nearly a decade, primarily used for trading purposes, and they have limited adoption in consumer payments. Per the report, Waters highlighted that the need for robust regulation, oversight, and enforcement mechanisms to protect consumers from potential harm caused by bad actors in the industry. Like it should be backed by something. The problem is, here's the deal. You have an industry that wants to regulate how to back financial assets, but they let banks roam without being backed at all. So like the entire backbone of their entire framework is based on a Ponzi scheme. Yet they want us to have to, and at the same time, people should have to show where their stablecoin is connected to. You know what I mean? Like no doubt. Like I'm with them as we should be protecting the consumer. However, the entire system is not based on a consumer protection idea. As long as everything stays in place, it protects the consumer. But the second you see those withdrawals, like First Republic Bank or something else, nobody's protected, right? So we live in a Ponzi scheme. The way they even did the framework of the banks isn't right. And now they're trying to use that framework to regulate something else. Doesn't seem like it's a good idea. I like the premise, and I love the fact that they're trying to stop us. Like for a company coming out and saying, hey, I got all these stablecoins, and then having them backed by nothing, and then let everyone get hurt. I understand. I'm 100% behind it. But the basis from where we all began is just crock, right? Multi-chain bridge woes spell end for Phantom-based DEXT. Ooh, following a treasury drain caused by multi-chain hack, Phantom's decentralized exchange SpiritSwap is ceasing operations. There was SpookySwap. I never knew SpiritSwap. Multi-chain suspended its services in July after facing unauthorized withdrawals over $130 million. The cross-chain router protocol stated all funds in the server access were under the custody of the Chinese police and CEO Zhao Wen, who was allegedly detained in China. SpiritSwap was launched in April 2020 and told users on the Discord this week that due to its exposure to multi-chain, it can no longer cover regulated development expenses and operationals. Not good for Phantom, not good for SpiritSwap. They still got SpookySwap, though, which has been good. Interesting. Phantom will probably bounce back from this. Do I hold Phantom long-term? Not anymore, but you know, there it is. Wow, more short liquidations coming in for Bitcoin here on BOOKMAP. It looks like we're about to breach this low and go lower to 29.4 and maybe even to 29.3. Pancake deploys on Ethereum scaling network Arbitrum an expansion drive. The decentralized exchange has joined several networks this year in a search for new users and revenue streams. Decentralized exchange PancakeSwap has gone live in Ethereum scaling network Arbitrum in line with broader plans to expand its user base. PancakeSwap was one of the first DEXs. They're going to move faster and know how to move quick. They're not bogged down by just the overall day-to-day operations. They have that down. They can look for the future and learn when they should innovate and move. I believe holding PancakeSwap and continuing to, I still stake my Pancake. I believe Pancake will come back and probably come back, I don't know, 10, 20 bucks in the next run. Will it go to 44 again? I don't know. But this is good news, and it shows that PancakeSwap is always at the forefront and doing what they got to do. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. We gave you an in-depth Bitcoin update. We're still kind of flipping around here. As long as we don't go back inside that channel, you know what I'm saying. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. One thing I have to say is we started the stream saying we were going to go lower because the liquidity for BOOKMAP was lower. What happened? We went lower. Had you come to the stream, I don't know how many times I've said it, you would have been able to figure out where Bitcoin was going without a question. So I love you all. Thank you for being here. May God bless you all, and you have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next live. Crypto is life, baby!